Sangha with great virtues, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering, attain bliss, end birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung kính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ pháp vui cấp nhất tiếp chúng sinh, tuyên chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã vùng, như á liêu sanh thoát tư lý khổ đạc lạc, tốt chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Saranto Sucheto Ye Alahudi San Miao Samputo Xie. Nam mô Tarakatha Toya Daya Alahade Tam Miao Tampo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma, the 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now I've come to receive and maintain within my sight and hearing, about to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jie wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jie wen de shou zhi yan jie ru lai zhe shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Sixth Patriarch, Venerable Shenhua, Shami, all good advisors of Mitofo. 诸佛菩萨、六祖、师父、上人、沙弥各位上师师弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Lục Tổ, Hòa Thượng Điên Hoa, thầy và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Okay, today is the 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. In case you don't know about it, St. Patty's Day. We are gathered in Rosemead, California, to continue discussing the Vasha Sutra. We are on slide 471. Okay. It's a small announcement. Besides, it's St. Patty's Day. We didn't serve any green beer today because some of you probably know we don't drink alcohol, nor can we promote the consumption of alcohol. Sorry about that, Vicky. Okay, and Ginny, and her friend, and her sister. No green beer today at the temple. You have to step out if you want to drink green beer. Okay. I don't know about you, but I used to go on St. Patty's Day to a bar and drink green beer because it's tradition you can't miss. But St. Patrick, is that Irish? Is he Irish? I think, huh? So that's why now what a shame. Today we should have some kind of Irish meals. I know a couple of Irish dishes. Besides green beer. I don't even know the names, but it's made with potatoes. Believe it or not. Cabbage, that's correct. I didn't have corned beef, but I thought sausage and cabbage and potatoes, mashed potatoes even. And applesauce. Applesauce. That's also Irish, you know. Very easy to make, applesauce. Anyway, yeah, Master, like John Lin, loves food. That's why we know how to cook. Well, at least we know many recipes. Anyway, so happy St. Patty's Day, everyone. Glad you could make it to the temple. Also, another announcement. there is next Saturday, we have some nice volunteers who are right now, should be here, but they're out buying supplies, scouting for supplies, because they plan to prepare some sandwiches and head out next Saturday after lunch. We go out to the street corners, and hand out those sandwiches and a bottle of water to perhaps the illegal workers. Okay? We figure that no one cares for them, so we should. We talk about the homeless. You have plenty of people who volunteer for homeless, like Vicky. She's scouring the whole city of Los Angeles to find a way to help the homeless. I say, enough is enough. There's plenty of people who are helping the homeless. Why don't we help the people who need it more? Like the illegal aliens, where no one wants them. I see, exactly the attitude. Come on, have some compassion. They are helping with the economy. Yeah. So anyway, see, that's always controversial. We try to help people, try to be compassionate, and there's some people are totally uncompassionate, discompassionate, and passionate are proclaiming they should go home. Can't we just help people who are in need, who are suffering, whoever they are? That's the Buddhist mindset, the Buddhist spirit, okay? Whenever we are able to help some others, we should help. It's not as bad as you encouraging the ghost of desires. And never mind, that's too Buddhist. All right. A little more advanced than you can handle right now. Okay, 471, the Vajra Sutra. Continuing with this, I'm quoting Master Yuan Wu, which is a Chinese chant master, thầy Thiền sư Viên Ngộ, who quoted on the chant master, và đang trích dẫn trích một cái vị thiền sư khác nữa. See, the funny thing about the chant school is that if you pay attention, you really are not teaching anything new. And because the chant school in Buddhism has a history of thousands of years, especially a Chinese chant school. Excuse me. And they have 1,000 of years of producing the enlightened masters. Thank you very much. And therefore, thank you. Don't fall now. We need you next weekend. You don't understand. We try to teach you so that you become healthier, so that you can help out at the temple. Okay, so the thing about the Chinese chant school is that for thousands of years it produced for over 1,000 years, 1,500 years, they produced so many advanced, enlightened beings that for us, the new generation, it's nothing we know that hasn't been covered before. Cái thiền tông đó, theo cái truyền thống thiền tông người Hoa đó, đã hơn 1.000 năm rồi, 500 năm rồi, tạo rất nhiều cái người giác ngộ, thiền sư giác ngộ. Thành ra cái đời mới chúng ta không có gì mà chúng ta mà khám phá mà gì mới hết. So what happened is that the chant school, I believe, in order to understand the chant school, you have to go back to the older teachers, and you investigate them. You see that they know so much more. What you think is so new, what you think is something new invention, actually has been explained before. Đối với thầy nghĩ đó, nếu quý vị mà những vị thiền sư đó mà thiệt sự mà muốn mà hiểu đó, thì chỉ cần nghiên cứu những cái lời dạy của tổ sư, nghe thầy thì những thiền sư trước đó, thì không có gì, quý vị không có gì hiểu mới hết. Why is that? Because enlightenment is a human experience. Once you become enlightened,
you discover that there's nothing new about it. Tại sao như vậy? What happened to my Chinese translator? Someone is a translator for Ruching. They are neglecting the Chinese translation. Anyway, tại thầy thấy những cái người mà giác ngộ, khi mà người giác ngộ rồi, người ta khám phá nữa, không có gì mới hết. You are not understanding anything new because all you're doing is uncovering the human nature, your previously enlightened nature, inherent enlightened nature. So it's no different than any other enlightened being. Thành ra một khi cái người mà giác ngộ rồi, người ta khám phá rằng cái trí huệ của họ không có gì mới hết. There's nothing new about your enlightenment. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I assure you that. Thầy cam đoan quý vị, khi quý vị giác ngộ rồi, quý vị không có cái gì khám phá cái gì mới hết. Tất cả những đó là cái trí huệ mà trước giờ quý vị đã sẵn có rồi. Mà mọi người khi người ta ta giác ngộ, người ta hiểu giống nhau. So the people who become enlightened, they see the same thing, they understand the same thing. Of course, the high level enlightenment, they understand more than lower level enlightenment. But they understand, they see the exact same thing. Okay? Cái trình độ, đương nhiên là những người giác ngộ trình độ cao hơn thì họ thấy nhiều hơn và hiểu nhiều hơn cái người trình độ thấp. Nhưng đều, cái sự hiểu biết của họ nó đều giống nhau, nó không khác gì hết. Okay? So that's why this is why the enlightened masters, they like to quote the old masters. Okay? They like to study the old masters, and then because I think there's probably a fascination that the old teachers are a little bit more advanced than you are. So it's better to, for your own good, for your own advancement, to study them than trying to say something that has been said before. And there's nothing new at all. Okay? Thành ra bởi vậy, những cái người mà thầy tin là những cái vị thiền sư mà hiểu có trí huệ, người ta thay vì ta ngồi ta nói này nói cái nọ, người ta bỏ thì giờ ta nghiên cứu những cái vị thiền sư cao hơn họ để họ hiểu thêm, họ nới rộng cái trí huệ của họ. Does it make sense to you? Okay, they are for improvement. They're not happy with the status quo, even though after they become enlightened. All right. It's only when they are forced to teach, that's when they formulate something that is appropriate for the listeners. They know full well they're not doing anything new. They're only phrasing it in the way that you understand, the new generation and the current generation, that would make it more palatable and more understandable to them. But it's nothing new. Does it make sense? Thành ra chỉ khi mà họ dạy họ mới dùng những cái lời nói mà giảng nghĩa cho đúng hợp thời hợp cơ thôi, thì ra cái lời nói không có ngoài cái sự hiểu biết đã có sẵn có rồi. Okay, so the ancient master says, don't mind anything, dwell on anything, whether the world or beyond the world. This giant master here, he says, he covers all the bases. Cái vị thiền sư này nói là dạy hết tất cả mọi trình độ. Ngài nói là đừng có nghĩ về bất cứ gì, đừng có trụ trên bất cứ cái gì, dầu nó là trong cái thế giới hoặc là xuất thế, hoặc là thuộc thế hoặc là xuất thế. So this is the Chinese section of it. That this is the exact wording where for the Chinese, if you understand Chinese, this is the most accurate portrayal of the wisdom on this level. Every time we translate, we lose a little bit of that. That's an unfortunate thing. Okay, so for those of you who understand Chinese, you should look at the original text, because I found that the translation is not always as accurate, as satisfying as reading it in Chinese. You ask me personally. Okay, even though I don't quite understand Chinese fully yet, but I feel that translator always mess up something somewhere. Okay. Yeah. What? You can't read the words? Is that because of the color, maybe? Can you close the windows, maybe? And let me do another color, maybe. Let's see. How about this? Huh? How about this? No? No? This? How about that? Okay. Cái gì hả? Okay. Actually, Shana, she says, that's a good point, Xianjie. In our books, when we quote the Chinese words, we should have Chinese characters as well, because maybe some people don't read, pinyin. They, like the Koreans, they can recognize Chinese characters, but they can recognize the pinyin. You're not interested in pinyin. You're only interested in Chinese characters, the original characters. And for the Caucasians, they can't care less anyway. They think the Chinese characters should go back to China. I see invasion is unwanted. All right. Okay, so don't mind. Mind here means don't think. The mind here refers to the conscious mind. Cái tâm này, trong câu này, đừng nghĩ về cái gì hết. Hãy nghĩ là cái tâm mà suy nghĩ quý vị đó. Don't mind anything. Don't think of anything. That's what it means. Okay? And dwell on anything. Mind meaning a transient. Mind here is you are consciously thinking one thought after another. That's what it's referring to. Don't think. 不要有思想，不要想什么。Okay? Đừng có nghĩ gì hết á. Okay? This refers to your mind right now who is racing like crazy. What does he mean by mind? What is he talking about? I'm not thinking about anything. He's wrong. See, those thoughts that's going in your mind right now, okay, that's mind. Referring to. Đó cái tâm đang suy nghĩ đó. Đang đắn đo đó. Also, meaning for you, particular the modern days where for you educated and smart people and savvy people, what is mind referring to? Assessing, evaluating, discerning, judging. That's the mind it's referring to. That's what you're trained to do. Okay? Stop it. That's what it says. Okay? Dwell. Dwell here is longer duration. Dwell here meaning that like you dwell in a residence. It's an ongoing process. Also the concept of dwelling is that there is dependence. Don't depend on anything. That's the concept behind dwelling. Cái trù này là ỷ lại. Ý nghĩa của trù là ỷ lại. Don't dwell on your money. Don't dwell on your. Don't dwell on your husband. He comes and goes. Why? Why are you looking at your sister? She's not dwelling on her husband. She's not dwelling on her husband. If he loves you, he should dwell on you, but you shouldn't dwell on him. Don't you think? Yes. Oh, the man disagrees. Master is so sexist. I always go with the majority present. Most of the time it's more women listeners than men listeners. Some days, some days there's some more men here. Okay. Anyway, dwell here. this is very subtle. This is very important, more than you think, than you realize. The mind here means to me, in modern days, is to assess, to analyze, to judge, to discriminate. Okay? That's what you pride yourself on being able to do. Okay? Cái nghĩ này là cái mà cái thời đại này người ta suy nghĩ nhiều, tại khi vào đại học, vào trường học để mà học cái cách suy nghĩ, cách tính toán. You're always plotting, you're always analyzing, you're always assessing what's beneficial, what's not to you. That's the mind there. Why? Because it's self-serving. You say, is it beneficial to me? That's the mind is always active. Right? Okay? Cái tâm là cái tâm đang tính toán để làm tư lợi. Okay? Don't do that. Stop it. Minimize that. There's no need for that. Because why? Tại sao như vậy? Why is that? Why is it we shouldn't try to maximize the benefits or benefit ourselves? Tại sao mình nên tính toán tư lợi? Why is that? It's a false attachment. It's pettiness. That's something you should understand. We petty. The petty people, what I define by petty people, and the people who are after small gains. Agree? Your mind is so small. Your thinking is so small. You only see this benefit. You don't see the bigger benefit. That's why I'm calling you petty. You understand that, Janice? Pettiness? You know, you only see, oh my God, I need them to approve of me. I need them right there to approve of me. If they approve of you, then you lose more important people. You see that? You attach yourself on the Koreans, or attach yourself on the Chinese, attach yourself on the Vietnamese, whereas you should be all the humanity. How's that? Then you're at home everywhere. You're comfortable everywhere. Not only in Texas, but everywhere. You understand that? And that's what I call pettiness. The pettiness because you are so smart. You are so accurate in that, yes, I can gain. I should do it to maximize my benefits right here. But that's pettiness. Because you fail to see the entire picture, the big picture. And that's why your mind, this is what your mind is constantly doing, by the way. Agree or disagree? Cái tâm quý vị nó đang khi nào nó còn đang tính toán để làm tư lợi hết. Có đúng không? That's tiring. Because you spend so much energy, devote so much energy trying to be petty, to serve your pettiness. So far, so good? That's what it means. Why look at me like that? It's not true? It is true. Then you shouldn't look at me like that. You should be... I call you out. I say, and you're not even ashamed? That's exactly what I mean by pettiness. You don't even see your pettiness. And when we talk about your pettiness, so what?
What else is new?
This is terrible.
What else is new?
Oh, God, I mean, this is who I am. What do you want, Master?
That's right. We're not perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not perfect.
Cái này thầy phiền muộn lắm, tại vì nói người ta thấy vì là nhỏ nhen. Tại sao? Tại vì nhỏ nhen tâm chuyên môn tính toán, tìm cái tư lợi nhỏ nhỏ thôi, còn quên cái tư lợi của cái đại sự. Okay. Nói xong ai cũng nhìn thầy tỉnh bờ, thầy nhớ cái gì thầy nói có đúng không? Người ta nói thầy nói đúng. Thầy hỏi hơi ngược lại, nếu thầy nói đúng tại sao cái gì không có cúi đầu xuống mắc cỡ? Đã lộ cái xấu mà còn không biết mắc cỡ nữa, tệ không thể tưởng được. This is horrible. You know you should be ashamed of yourself. You're not even ashamed of yourself. That's why it's so difficult to teach all of you. That's why the Buddha, after he became enlightened, look at us and said, forget it. These guys cannot be taught. Thì bởi vì lúc Đức Phật cái này, this is not me. That's what the Buddha said himself. He says, forget it. Well, I'm interpreting a little bit. Okay. Not quite what that. Thì bây giờ thầy mới nói khi mà Đức Phật mà giác ngộ xong, Đức Phật nhìn chúng ta lắc đầu nữa. Mất công đừng phí thì giờ tụi này. Okay. So that's what the mind, anything, the mind means. And then dwell here is more subtle. Cái trụ này nó vi tế hơn. What is subtle about it? You assume. You don't analyze, but you assume. It's even worse. Can you see that? Okay. Cái trụ này nó còn tệ hơn là cái suy nghĩ. Tại cái trụ này là không cần suy nghĩ luôn. You assume you can depend on your husband. Can go forth around, and when you get tired, you go back and say, hey, honey, help me. Okay, give me money. Give me love. Give me support. Okay? That's dwelling on your husband until you suffocate him. You put them to work, you make them go to work. Yeah. And then they come home and, here, honey, here, have a glass of wine. And then you go do your things and he feels good and gets, and then and he thinks, oh my God, she loves me. That's dwelling. That's dwelling. You don't think we know? But we like it. We like when you dwell on us. Nhìn thấy không? Cái trụ này cái trụ nó còn tế nhị. Cái trụ là vì ý lại. Cái vị không cần suy nghĩ mà tự động ý lại. Trụ trên chồng mình chẳng hạn. Bắt ông đi làm việc, làm tiền, đem tiền về nhà xong rồi trụ lên ông. Cho đến khi ông ngộp thở luôn. There's no Vietnamese here, so I can say anything I want. They will not object. Only Kim Deong is not here. She said, nah, Master, you have to translate everything in Vietnamese because I won't be there. So that's why I translate. Anyway, so even though there's no one who cares for Vietnamese translation, I still translate. It's not like I went off my rockers. Okay. You understand that? The dwelling here is much, much more damaging than the thinking. The thinking process, we can tell you get tired. You see? You think too much? I know a lot of people like you who worry. Thinking here, you worry, by the way. You worry about money, you worry about your children's safety, you worry about food, you worry about this, about that, you worry about your tests. Okay? You worry about not having enough money to last through your old age. Okay? All those are worries. That's the mind thing here. You understand that? There's something that engages our mind constantly, non-stop. And nowadays, for those you, the two classes of mental activity is very strong. One is analyzing and assessing. The other part is worries. You worry they don't have enough. You worry you can't find love. You worry that you're going to be alone when you're old and no one cares for you anymore. Okay? Right? You worry that people only like you because they think you have money in the bank accounts. Okay? So anyway, so that's a worry thing. But the dwelling thing here is much, much more subtle. That is, you take it for granted. Okay? Cái trụ này là mình ý lại vào. Mình nghĩ là mình có thể ý lại vào. You understand that? So for example, dwelling means that you assume, you make an assumption that's false, and you are not even aware of it. That's the nature of the dwelling process. It's automatic for you. Cái trụ này là nó tự động, không cần suy nghĩ nó ra. Is it clear? See how subtle the way our mind works. You don't realize it until you study Buddhism. Okay, it's very clear. The two classes of mental activities are very damaging to you. Okay, the assumption, that's what hurts you. Okay, I remember. There is in English. It was a marketing class, and in a business school, and we were doing case studies. And then the professor says, we're discussing the case, and the professor tore us apart and said, you are wrong because of this. Because you assume. Remember that? Anyone remember this? You assume. You go to business school, this is what we learn about. We assume. Okay? Assume, and then the professor says, when you assume, okay, you make an ass out of you and me. This is a very famous case study in business school. You guys remember that? You guys, any business school? B-schoolers, huh?
See, we didn't go to business school, you did.
But you didn't learn about this assume thing here?
I like that. I never heard of it.
But you didn't go to B school, right?
My daughter's math teacher wrote that on the board. If you assume your answers, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's mathematics.
They stole it from us, business school, B schoolers.
Really?
Okay?
That's interesting.
Okay? That's a dwelling, by the way. This is a dwelling. Assuming is dwelling. Can you see that? Khi thấy cái trụ này là mình cứ tưởng. The Vietnamese is you assume is a translation of tiếng cái là cứ tưởng. You see that? Okay? So this dwelling here is what gets us in trouble. We don't even realize it. You get offended when people say that, point out your dwelling attachments. Okay? And they say, no, I'm not like that. How can you think like that of me? Okay? Can you understand that, Janice? Like when we dwell on our husbands, they suffocate. Do you know that? They suffocate. You dwell on them until they suffocate. Jeannie said, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that. Okay? When you depend on people, they suffocate. They can't. You put too much pressure on them, so much pressure on them. Does it make sense to you? This is modern day, how I would put it in modern day language, perspectives. Okay? All right. So don't dwell on anything. Do not assume anything. And whether of the world or beyond the world, whether it's something you can understand, you can see, or something you can't. Beyond the world is beyond your comprehension. Okay, there's always that. Okay, is that clear? Any questions about this? So this is a teaching that an ancient Chan master said a long, long time ago. Okay, that's all his wisdom. He says, this is what we tend to do. This is why we are so confused. Thành ra đời xưa, vì thiền sư đời xưa đã xưa rồi đã nói câu này, quý vị thấy nó có hợp thời cơ dễ sợ. Là tại vì cái bản tính chúng ta như vậy. This is exactly human nature. Đây là cái bản tính của con người. That's how we function. Okay? Questions? And then I elaborate a little bit further for you. It says, if you dwell on anything, whether we think about it or you dwell on anything, then you get stuck and cannot change effectively. You lose your nimbleness. You become sticky. You can't move quickly anymore. You can't adapt anymore. Thành quý vị mà trù bất cứ cái gì là quý vị sẽ bị kẹt. Mà tại vì không có thể thay đổi kịp. Okay? And this is why, by the way, this is why big businesses eventually fail. Because they grow too big. They're stuck on the size. And they cannot adapt anymore. Like the Best Buys and you read the news now, the big businesses like the Apples are losing their effectiveness, losing their creativity, and so on. And that's the nature of dwelling. The more you dwell, the less responsive, the less dynamic you become, the less adaptable you become. That's when you die. Okay? Alright. Thành ra cái trù là khiến quý vị bị kẹt và không thể thay đổi được. Okay, any questions about this? Okay, now, what if you don't mind or dwell on anything? Vì nó ngược lại, let's talk about the other side. If you don't mind and dwell on anything, what happens? Nếu quý vị mà không trụ, mà không nghĩ, thì chuyện gì xảy ra? Yes?
Float up into space.
Float up into space. I'm trying to keep a straight face. It's rather profound, but it could also be interpreted as stupid. In fact, do you know that this is in the teaching, the Buddhist teachings? You know that when, according to Buddhist teachings, the world goes through cycles of formation, dwelling, change, and destruction. Okay? Quý vị biết không? Theo cái truyền thống giáo lý người Phật giáo thì ta nói mỗi cái thế giới nó qua cái bốn cái giai đoạn là sinh trụ, hoại, biến và không, đổi và không. Thì so what happened is that every world goes through those four cycles. It's formed, and it grows, and then it starts to decay, and then it disappears. Tới bốn trụ đó nghĩa là sao? Là nó sinh ra, thế giới nó được tạo ra, xong nó sanh trưởng, nó biến đổi, xong nó bắt đầu nó bị hoại, bị bể, xong nó sẽ biến mất. For example, okay, so that's what happens. Everything in this world goes through those four cycles, not just the world. Là không phải riêng cái thế giới, còn bất cứ gì trên cái thế gian này đều phải như vậy. Okay? Except for one thing, trừ ra một cái thôi. What is it? Your Buddha nature will never change. Okay. Ngoài ra cái Phật tính thôi, không có cái gì. Besides, outside your Buddha nature, everything else go through the four cycles. Ngoài ra cái Phật tánh mình không có cái gì mà không qua cái bốn giai đoạn hết. You know that? Everything, including your car. Okay? You buy it, you love it, you drive it, you enjoy it, and then it gets old. And then you get rid of it before you lose money, too much money, spend too much money on repair bills. Anyway, so what happened? This is, yes?
But that concept doesn't apply to the Pure Land?
Pure Land too.
Oh, really?
Yes. But it's much lower than what happened is, it's a very good point. Now Sarah's interested in Pure Land. It's something that we should know here. You're still too young to worry about the Pure Land. You never know. Có người với ta hỏi thì như vậy là cái quan niệm nó có vẫn liên quan tới cái tịnh độ là không? Thì nó có nhé. Okay. Tịnh độ nó cũng như vậy. The Pure Land also goes through the cycles, but it's so much longer than impure lands. Cái quả tịnh độ nó cũng như quả bất tịnh, nó cũng qua bốn cái giai đoạn như vậy. Okay? All right. essential nature of the Pure Land is this. Cái đặc biệt của cái quả Tịnh độ như vậy nè. Okay? That it is so long that you become a Buddha before anything bad happens to you, happens to the world. Okay? Cái quan niệm của Tịnh độ là cái vị sẽ thành Phật trước khi bất cứ chuyện gì nó xảy ra. That's why the lifespan is so long. That is beyond your comprehension. You can't imagine how, even like the creation and then the growth is so long that you go there and you become Buddha way before any of those things. Okay? But it still evolves and then it disappears and then comes back again. Thành ra quả Tịnh độ là nó vẫn quá biến chuyển, cái biến chuyển nó rất là chậm. Okay. So this is what happens in our world. This is in the Buddhist scriptures. Cái này trong kinh Phật giảng. And Master Shri alluded to that a little bit as well. Ngài Tuyên Hóa cũng giảng sơ về chuyện này. Do you know that in our world, when the world is created, and this is beyond the astrologists and beyond the scientists. Okay, and you have to take it as a Buddhist, what the Buddha taught. Nó ngoài cái sự hiểu biết của khoa học một tí, thành cái vị phải nghe vậy thôi. Okay. So what happened is that the world is created. Thế giới bắt đầu tạo ra. So it's being created. Okay. So the earth appears. Là cái tứ thiên hà nó hiện ra. Okay. So what happened is that when the earth, what we call it, Sư Thiên Xia, meaning the four continents under heaven, if you will. That's the Buddhist description. Never mind, don't worry about it. I call it the earth for your sake. Okay? It's created. So what happened is that above us, there's a heavenly being. Trên chúng ta có cái trời. Okay? At first, it's unoccupied, uninhabited. Trước khi mặt đất mới tạo ra, không có ai ở. Can you imagine that? No one here. No one here at all. Okay? And then what happened is that then the heavenly beings, okay, they have spiritual powers. They come down here for fun. Rồi những cái vì quả trời đó, người của trời đó, người ta có cái thần thông, ta bay xuống đây được. Is it too much for you? Okay, it's okay. I tell a lot of stories. Don't take me seriously. I just have to fill up time for 2 hours. That's all. Okay, so quả trời đó. This is, I know maybe some of you haven't read this. Maybe you read some of it. The heavenly beings on the heavens, way above us, they fly down here. Just like you driving to Hawaii, driving to New York, for sightseeing, for vacations, okay? Giống như họ đi nghỉ hè đó. So they fly down here, and guess what? They fly down here at that point in time when the earth was first formed. Lúc đầu mà quả đất mà mới tạo ra. Now everyone is awake, right? Okay, very good. I have this problem after Sunday afternoon. The food on Sunday is the best. So everyone eats very well and they come to my lecture and so I need to, spice it up for them. So lúc mà cái thế giới tứ thiên hà bắt đầu lập ra thì cái quả trời đó người ta có thần thông, người ta bay xuống đây. So they come down here for fun. Okay? And they come down here at first. You know what happens? The earth crust is like, has a crust that tastes like. Hồi đó, lúc bắt đầu thì trên mặt đất nó có một cái lớp, nó giống như là cái gì quý vị biết không? Giống như sô-cô-la vậy đó. Chocolate. See, this lady understands Vietnamese now. It tastes like chocolate. Even better than chocolate. The best. See, I told Xian Jie, every now and then he goes and buy a little bit of Swiss chocolate. He's Swiss, He's kind of Swiss, So he says, he has a craving for chocolate. So he says, buy a piece of chocolate, brings it back. And no, there's no ice cream back then. Trust me. I'm sorry. Okay. Ice cream is much later.
Oh, okay.
So at first, the earth crust is so tasty, like a chocolate. So the heavenly being, lúc đầu cái mặt đất mình nó có giống cái miếng lớp giống như sô-cô-la vậy đó. Okay. Thành ăn rất là ngon, better than, còn ngon hơn là sô-cô-la từ Thụy Điển. Okay. And so they flound down here, and they have nothing to do but pick up a piece, okay, and say, oh, this is tasty. So they start eating it. Then họ bắt đầu cắn, họ thấy ngon. It's crunchy, it's chewy, you know, just like Lindt chocolate, if you will. Okay, I know you can't imagine, so I need to associate with something for you. Lindt chocolate, okay. And so it's so tasty that they ate more, and they come back and they tell their friends. Then they come down here, and so a bunch of them come down here, you know, and to fly down here and to eat the chocolate, to eat the crust, to pick up the crust and eat, okay, like this, like the fruits, okay. This is what happens first. When they were first formed, there's no trees yet, just chocolate. Very, very, very fattening, if you ask me. Okay? So now they eat chocolate, and they come back, and they tell their friends, and they come back. So they keep on coming to eat the chocolate. A bunch of them. Their friends, their best friends, their cousins, you know, and so on. So they come down here to eat chocolate. And of course, it's fattening. Okay? And then, so it's much harder for them to fly back to the heavens. You see that? And they go like this. This is true. Don't laugh at me. This is the honest truth. Okay? Ăn rồi, ăn cái sô-cô-la thì cái việc sô-cô-la nó mập dễ sợ lắm. Càng ngày người nó càng nặng. Okay? And then plus they get sleepy for eating too much chocolate. And guess what? They can't fly anymore. Those are the first inhabitants of the human race, of Earth. Can you believe that? Thì quý vị biết đó, họ cuối cùng họ có thể là thầy cười đấy, chọc quý vị tí, có thể họ nặng, tại mập ra, với lại ăn no có buồn ngủ nữa, bơi không bay nữa, thành bị kẹt bay không được nữa. So they stuck here, and they are the first forefathers, our forefathers, and that's why our forefathers came from the heavens. That's why the Vietnamese is very smart. I don't know about you Koreans and Caucasian people. Thành là cái tổ tiên chúng ta là của trời. The Vietnamese says we are the descendants of heavenly beings. See, Vietnamese history is very accurate. Thành ra cái lịch sử Việt Nam mình rất là chính xác. Mình đúng là rõ ràng là con rồng cháu tiên. Actually, Vietnamese is slightly off. He asked me, he said, we are the sons of the dragons and the nephews, there's no nieces, nephews of the gods. That's exactly what the tradition, Vietnamese tradition. Is that right? Hả? Đúng không? Đúng không? Mình là con rồng cháu tiên mà. Yeah, it's true. The Vietnamese, the history is very, very accurate. Well, it's slightly off, but it's very accurate. Much better than American history. American history, you say you're from the Europeans and Africa. I don't know about you. I don't know where you came from, but
I don't know where I came from.
But you understand that? You understand that? So here's the point. The point here is that and that's how one of the first heavenly inhabitants then came to Vietnam and colonized Vietnam, and that's how we became Vietnam. Okay. I push it too far. Let me backtrack. Okay. I will not translate in Vietnamese. They're going to laugh at my Vietnamese inaccuracy, history inaccuracy, Vietnamese. Anyway, so what happened is that, this is true. So what happened is that they ate all this crust and they can't fly anymore. They found out they can't fly anymore. Okay? Can you see that? That's exactly what happened to us. This is why in Buddhism, the two gods are most powerful in Buddhism, in our world. One is Christian God. Thành bởi trong cái lịch sử loài người chúng ta có hai cái vị vua trời rất là có thế lực. Thứ nhất là vua của Thiên Chúa giáo. He's on the second heaven. And he reports to a higher God in the first dhyana. Thành cái vị vua trời thứ nhì mà cũng còn có thế lực hơn nữa là cái vị vua của sơ thiền. Because the first inhabitants of the earth are from the first dhyana heaven. That's why the God, the first dhyana, looks at us as his own children. Do you understand that? That's why he takes care of us. He's very protective of us. Thành bởi cái vị vua sơ thiền đó, khi nào cũng đùm bọc chúng ta hết. Tại vì Ngài đã biết rằng, because he saw his own residents being stuck down here. You see that? That's why he's very protective of us. So we are their offsprings. Especially the Vietnamese. Okay? So what happened? Thành ra cái vị vua sơ thiền rất là đùm bọc cho dòng người, tại Ngài thấy rằng á, những cái lục sử con người thấy rõ ràng là họ từ sơ thiền trở xuống, bay xuống. So what happened? What's the story? Why do I tell you this? Besides proclaiming my expertise in Vietnamese history, can you see the moral behind the story? Tại sao thầy kể cái chuyện này cho quý vị nghe? Nó có cái lý do. Yes.
Don't be stuck on this phenomena in this world.
No, not quite. I go like this and no, not quite. Close, but no cigars.
Yes, no.
Yes? What is the story? The heavenly beings on the first dhyana heaven is much better off, aren't they? They're much better off than we are. They're much higher, they're much cleaner, they're much happier. Okay? They can fly. We can't anymore. Okay? We're there down here because of the attachment to chocolate.
Oh my God.
Isn't that incredible?
Oh my God.
I'm telling you that because I'm worried about my young Shami. If he's going to keep on buying these Lindt chocolates, he'll never make it to the heavens.
Now you're in trouble.
That's sad.
Quý vị nghe không? Thầy đừng lo cái ông Sa-di này mà ông cứ kẹt mua cái sô-cô-la này. Tại vì cái tổ tiên chúng ta là kẹt ở đây tại vì ham ăn sô-cô-la. You think it's funny? You think it's funny, huh?
It's sad.
Yeah, I agree.
It's sad.
But I know this is my problem. Now I won't see any Lindt chocolate anymore. I can see it coming. I said, no more Lindt chocolate, someone just said. Okay? But seriously, what happened is that because their attachment to the earth wealth, the wealthy earth, they cannot leave anymore, can they? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Quý vị thấy cái ý nghĩa của câu chuyện này không? Cái vị thiên thần này họ chấp trước vào cái tất cả quả đất này, thành họ đi không được nữa. Wherever you dwell, okay, you get stuck. That's the moral of the story. Is that clear? This happens to us time and time again. Ever since we came down here, our ancestors came down here. They're teaching us to get stuck. They're teaching us about dwelling.
Your habits.
That's all they do, out of love. Thành quý vị thấy, thầy kể câu chuyện này cho quý vị thấy, trụ sẽ bị kẹt. Questions or comments? This is a human condition. We dwell. That's where we get stuck. Bởi vì cái bản tính của nhân loại này, mình trụ thành mình bị kẹt. Yes. Question.
Just thinking again about the evolution kind of question.
Yes.
We do have a good deal of evidence about evolution. So were there, because the evolution, like the fossil record suggests there were animals here a long time before humans. But isn't this story that the humans came first and the animals later, or were there animals?
I don't know. The scientists don't know.
But like, it seems really easy to carbon date like these fossils, and you can see that if you go down into the earth, there's all these fossils of animals, but there's no bones of any like humans and then you go into a later time period and there's human remains or human-like remains, or that seems hard to...
But how do you link the animal evolved to humans? That's baloney.
Well, that's
this is
a
the theory.
Question, yeah.
Yes. There's no such thing. Animals will be animals.
Highly controlled science, and there are cases of finding human bones in 100 million year old coal deposits. So it's just not known. The science is saying that they've got proof of this and that, they don't have it.
And the earthquakes and the Earth's surface changes.
The only continents that disappeared with it is in the earth. Nobody knows. Especially not the scientists.
They're talking about millions of years. We're talking about,
hundreds of years.
just much longer.
I mean, I feel like in physics, for instance, science really has no clue what they're talking about when they're getting into these areas of quantum and whatnot. But that some of the evolutionary stuff seems
It's
very
physical.
concrete.
This is the observable physical phenomena. What about the unobservable physical phenomena? They can't put a theory behind it. Okay. For example, we talked about today at lunch. For example, the guy who's reciting sutra, all of a sudden there is a chair appeared. How do scientists explain that? Lots of things happen in this world where there's no possible explanation.
Just deny that it happened.
That's all. It's okay. We don't need to convince them. They understand whatever they can understand. That's okay. We embrace it. So we tell you stories not to prove to you, but to teach, to illustrate a point. You understand that? Thầy nói giảng cái này thì quý vị nghe để không phải để mà chứng minh cho quý vị, mà chỉ giảng thì một cái bài học về trí huệ thôi. Okay? It will be a long, long time before the science will catch up with all these stories. We're talking about, time so goes far back than we can possibly understand. Okay, it's too long. Human knowledge can make so much progress incrementally. Okay. Anyway. Don't know anything, you get stuck. Okay? More adaptable. All right? Any questions? Ai thắc mắc gì không? Okay. Now I move on to 472 seconds. Okay. Tiếp tục 472. Sutra. Subhuti, a bodhisattva to benefit all beings should give thus. All marks are spoken of the Tathagata as no marks, and all livings are spoken of as no living beings. Subhuti, 菩萨为利益一切众生故，应如是布施，如来说一切诸香及是非香，又说一切众生及非众生. Đức Bồ Đề Bồ Tát vì lợi ích hết thảy chúng sanh nên bố thí như vậy. Như Lai thuyết, hết thảy các tướng tức là phi tướng, Lai nói hết thảy các chúng sanh tức là phi chúng sanh. Okay, if you want to understand more about the Bodhisattva path, we are on slide 475, tấm 475. Nhưng ai muốn hiểu về cái đường Bồ Tát Đạo thì phải để chú ý. These beings are supposed to benefit themselves, not to benefit living beings, not benefit themselves. Okay? Thì những cái người mà Bồ Tát ấy, họ phải làm lợi cho chúng sanh, chứ không phải tư lợi. They are constantly practicing giving. Họ luôn luôn bố thí. I assure you, there's not a single moment during the day where Bodhisattva is not giving. That's why they Bodhisattvas. Nói quý vị nghe, bất cứ giây phút nào trong ngày người Bồ Tát cũng đang bố thí hết. Bởi vì họ mới là Bồ Tát. Can you see that routine? They're constantly giving, practicing giving. Họ khi nào họ nhận bố thí? Why is that? Tại sao họ bố thí? Why is that? Yes.
With the compassion, they want us to lead them first, and then we'll start to practice Dharma.
Come again?
Okay. They're trying to help us, of course, out of compassion, and also they're show an example. Like, for example, you pray something on Bodhisattva, they come and help you.
Mm-hmm.
That is some kind of a proof to that person in personal level that whatever you wish, that Bodhisattva came and the wish came true.
Mm-hmm.
From then, that person could trust Bodhisattva, and then they could start, Bodhisattva could show the Dharma way to the person, and they will trust him more, and then eventually the person will be practicing Dharma.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I give the answer here too. You renounce the self and benefit others. Why do I ask you a question? I give you the answer already. Not very bright.
I should have read.
But that's along the same line. Okay. Tại sao? Tại vì thầy đã trả lời chứ vì trong cái tấm này luôn, hành vi xả kỹ lời tha. Okay. Nghĩa là hy sinh cái bản thân mình mà để làm lời cho người khác. Vì vậy cái cách họ làm việc là vậy, họ luôn luôn bố thí. When you practice giving, you constantly practicing giving, meaning that they never benefit themselves. They surrender benefiting themselves to benefit others. Okay? Họ từ bỏ những cái tư lợi để mà lời tha. You understand that? Can you see that? You see that these people, what they do is they are always thinking of benefiting others. Thành cái người Bồ Tát nó đặc biệt cái chỗ là họ luôn luôn tìm cách là làm lời tha. So, in other words, you can say that they forget about themselves. Okay? Because they devote so much time and energy on benefiting others. Thành mình có thể nói Bồ Tát là quên cái bản thân để chỉ làm lời cho người khác, tại họ chỉ nghĩ chỉ làm lời người khác thôi. Okay? And by renouncing benefiting themselves, khi mà quý vị tới một cái cảnh giới mà có thể xả cái thân mình, then you're benefiting yourself big time. Thì lúc đó quý vị, cái tư lợi quý vị nó lớn không thể tưởng được. Can you see that? Can you see the beauty of this? They're not dwelling on themselves. That's why in the end they benefit greatly themselves. Thành nói cái gì một cách khác là họ không trụ vào cái bản thân họ, cái tư lợi, thành cuối cùng cái tư lợi họ lớn không thể tưởng tượng được. Yes, Ginny.
Master, when you refer to giving, I think giving is a very broad term.
Yes.
When you're referring to materialistic, right? Talk about giving as more. Can you explain what?
Giving?
Yeah.
Okay. Bố thí là gì? First of all, giving you give wealth. Wealth meaning that whatever is valuable, not just money. Okay. Cho tài sản. Okay. Meaning that material things as well as your labor, as well as your expertise, as well as your, that's material things. But not limited to material things. The things that are beneficial to others. Give them a recipe. Okay, giving of the labor. You cook in the kitchen, clean. Passing out food. By the way, next Saturday we pass out food, right? So we need to, except for Texas. Tex Beaumont. I'm sorry, I keep on calling him Texas. And I forgot about his name. But we need to form teams and decide on which one we need. How many people can volunteer to drive to give them away? Yeah. Okay, we need to come up with that plan. We only have 80 sandwiches, so we only have to distribute 80 of them. Okay. Anyway, so you give physical possession, your possessions. Okay, that's the first thing, you practice giving. Why? Because others might need it more than you do. That's what you're giving. And you're also giving wisdom, the Dharma, meaning you tell people how to solve problems. Okay? How to avoid mistakes. That's giving the Dharma. And number 3, you're giving a fearlessness. It's very important. When people are worried, are scared, you comfort them. You dispel the fears. Don't worry, things will be okay. You have nothing to worry about. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay? So that's all the 3 major kinds of givings in Buddhism. So far, so good? So the Bodhisattva is constantly practicing giving those 3 types of givings. Tại người Bồ Tát á, luôn luôn bố thí 3 cái loại bố thí tài, bố thí pháp, bố thí vô ý. Okay? And remember, this is the thing. If you don't dwell on yourself, that's when you reap the greatest benefits for yourself. Can you see the logic behind it? Thì quý vị nghĩ lại cho coi, nếu quý vị bố thí mà không bị kẹt vào cái ngã mình đó, cái tư lợi, thì cái cuối cùng cái tư lợi quý vị nó lớn không tưởng tượng được. Có hiểu được như vậy không? Can you see that? It's the self that's stopping the greatest benefit to itself, to yourself. Cái ngã mình nó cản trở cái lợi lớn nhất mình có thể có. And the more you cultivate, the more you see that. That's what the more the Bodhisattvas cultivate, the more they understand that, by the way. Bồ Tát càng ngày càng bố thí, càng hiểu được cái điểm đó. The more they practice giving, the more they see. The more they see this. The more they see that it actually, their own benefits is much greater when they don't think about themselves. That's why they have to keep on practicing giving until they understand more and more and more of it. Questions? And the net givers, okay, slide 475, the net givers, meaning that they prefer to give more than they take. Họ thường Bồ Tát là họ cho nhiều hơn họ là lấy. Why is that? They don't want to owe you. Họ không muốn nợ cái gì. They prefer not to owe you.
Or run out of blessings either, right?
If you owe them, they owe you, then you run out of blessings very quickly. Okay? Họ mà nợ cái gì là họ sẽ hết phước. Họ không thể tu Bồ Tát đạo nữa. Then they can't practice the Bodhisattva path anymore, can they? Hết phước không sao mà tu được, tiếp tục tu Bồ Tát đạo. The Bodhisattvas, they can give because they give away their blessings. They're not taking your blessings. You understand that? Cái Bồ Tát tu cái đường họ là họ bố thí cái phước của họ, chứ họ không có dùng cái phước của quý vị. Okay? And they don't discriminate. All living beings they give to. Họ không có phân biệt chúng sanh. What does it mean? Don't come to them and say, Master, how come you're helping my enemies? Because your enemies are just the same as you under their eyes. You're all living beings. They're supposed to benefit all living beings. Đừng có tới nói than phiền Bồ Tát là sao Bồ Tát giúp kẻ thù của con, địch thủ của con. Bồ Tát nói địch thủ với con đối với Bồ Tát cũng là giống nhau hết. Does it make sense? My young Swami is sleeping as usual. After the excitement of the story about Swiss chocolate, he's now blasé. Okay, any questions? And that's what differentiates Bodhisattva. It's not about their knowledge. It's not about the title they give them. A true Bodhisattva is always giving. Thành ra cái này cái sự đặc điểm của Bồ Tát lúc nào cũng bố thí, lúc nào cũng đang bố thí. Nó khác biệt phàm phu chúng ta cho đó. Okay, that's how freely they live. Sống một cách rất là an nhiên tự tại. Okay? Yeah, they live in freely, they live at ease. You can only obtain you are not at ease until you stop worrying by yourself. Quý vị có thể sống an nhiên tự tại chỉ sau khi quý vị không còn lo lắng về cái bản thân mình. And in particular, you cease to be petty. Nhất là mình bớt nhỏ nhen bỏn xỉn. You see that? If you practice giving enough, you stop being petty. It'll be a long time. I can see that. Okay? Càng bố thí càng nhiều, sẽ càng bớt ích kỷ, càng bớt nhỏ nhen. Questions? So, are you? Or can you rise beyond your petty self if you want to be more insulting in this slide here? Never mind. Okay, 476. They can benefit living beings by attaching to nowhere. The bodhisattvas, when they benefit living beings, okay, they are dwelling nowhere at all. Bồ Tát khi mà bố thí đó, họ không trụ bất cứ chỗ nào. Okay? Why is that? This is their way of practice. Đây là cái pháp tu của họ. Don't think they're stupid. Đừng có nghĩ là họ dốt, họ khờ như cái vị tưởng đó. Everyone, most of us are saying, "Oh my goodness, they're losing their shirt doing this. What's the point? It's so stupid." Like someone says, I give up my passion. I give up my excitement. So then my life is not worth living anymore. I often hear of non-Buddhists and a lot of people telling me that, especially modern day people, young people, những người trẻ đó hay nói, nếu như bố thí mà sống mà không còn cái thích thú, cái đam mê thì sống làm cái gì? Okay. Then these people are attached to passion, to excitement. Những cái người này đó, họ đang còn chấp trước về cái kích thích, cái sự thích thú của họ. If they're attached to their attachment, and they're attached to their excitement, to their passions, then they never understand the big excitement, the big passion. Họ mà chấp trước vào cái đam mê của họ thì họ không tìm được cái đam mê lớn lao nhất. Right? You attach to anything, you fail to see the big picture. Bất cứ cái gì mà chấp trước vào bất cứ cái gì thì quý vị không thể nào thấy được cái toàn diện của cái sự thật. So far so good? This reminds me, for example, in a courtroom. Chẳng hạn như nói về cái thế giới của chúng ta bây giờ này, trong cái tòa án này. Okay. When you go to a court, the judge will excuse himself or herself when she has vested interests, right? Chẳng hạn như vào cái quan tòa đó, vì quan tòa thường thường không có quyết định, không xét cái phán, làm quan tòa tại sao rút lui, tại sao? Tại vì nói tôi có cái tư lợi trong cái chuyện này. Therefore, when I have vested interest, I have things that influence my judgment. I'm not going to be able to judge very clearly. Therefore, I fail to excel, to deliver my work. Thành cái vị quan tòa sẽ rút lui tại vì nói tôi thiếu cái sự sáng suốt, tại tôi có cái tư lợi trong này, có cái chấp trước trong này. That's attachment. I have attachments. I cannot be depended upon to be clear-headed, right? To be fair to all living beings, to both parties involved. Người quan tòa, tôi đang có cái sự tư lợi trong này, thành thể nào có công bằng của hai bên. You see that? If you have any attachment, you cannot really benefit others. Quý vị có bất cứ cái chấp trước nào, quý vị khó mà làm lợi cho người khác. Can you see that? You are protective of your family and your children, therefore you're unfair to your non-families and your friends even. Right? It's only your friend. It's okay. Dime a dozen. Right? Quý vị thấy cái chấp trước nó khó. This is a nature of attachment. Attachment clouds your judgment. Cái chấp trước đó, nó khiến cái đầu óc quý vị nó thiếu sáng suốt. This is what the Bodhisattvas, every time they practice giving and they hesitate to give you, then they are discovering their own attachments. Thành ra Bồ Tát á, khi mà người ta tu á, cái pháp bố thí mà ta do dự, cái viên, they hesitate to give to the Chinese. They say, I do have attachment against Chinese. That's how they work on their own attachments. You see that? Nên quý vị thấy mỗi lần mà cho bố thí như vậy, họ do dự, họ biết họ đã có chấp trước vào cái chuyện này, nên họ mới tìm ra được. That's why they keep on practicing giving. They give everyone. So they say, I still attach to the Chinese, and I like the Vietnamese, and so on. So you see the attachment by this. They discover it, uncover it when they practice giving through their own internal hesitation. You understand that now? Because it shows they're not clear-headed when it comes to giving to the Chinese. Is it clear? Does it make sense to you? This is why they do it. They keep on doing it. I still have attachment. I still have attachment. That's why they keep on giving and giving and giving until they no longer have attachment. Until their head becomes clear. Make sense? They work at it. It's not like you. Don't sit there. You are so confused. You have so many attachments. You say, oh my God, where do I get started? The Bodhisattva has few attachments. That's why they need to practice giving, because they have the chance to work at it. Whereas for us, it's too many. It's Lindt chocolate, and then there is kimchi, and there is all these dishes. What are you going to do? So the question you might ask is, so I'm not a Bodhisattva, what do I do?
I'm just a common human being.
Yeah, you're just a human being. I'm just normal. What is normal? Normal is confused. I'm confused.
I said common.
Yeah. So what do? I indulge in my passions because I'm human. Is that it? I don't know either. I don't have the answer for you. I'm sorry. It makes you depressed when I think about these issues. Too much work. Too many attachments. Okay? Thầy trả lời cái gì cũng được. Làm sao bây giờ? Cái gì mà chấp trước cà rán mới chịu. Bồ Tát kẹt sơ, còn cái gì kẹt đủ thứ hết. Chúng ta kẹt đủ thứ. Kẹt đồ ăn, kẹt tiền, kẹt tình thương, kẹt đam mê, kẹt đủ thứ hết. Làm gì bây giờ? Thầy cũng chịu. You guys are too confused. It's too much of a headache. Let's just go somewhere else. Đi chỗ khác dùng đi. Yes? I only talk for 2 hours. That's as far as I go. Don't bother me, please. And that's why, guess what? That's what the Shuryas come. Now I have to take care of Shuryas. I thought 2 hours a week is enough. I said, after 2 hours, I say, oh, how are you? And I walk away to my office. Okay? Now Shuryas come. And I say, I have to say nice to you so that I can ask you for help. Too many attachments. Now I have 10,000 attachments. You understand now how quickly during lunch I said, forget it. I'm not going to be attached to these 10,000 things. Yeah. You better believe it. I'm going to get stuck on that. They may give it to me, but if it walks away, it walks away.
I don't think so.
Okay? Anyway, what's wrong with that statement? Then am I not attached to it walking away? See, you have to do it in a way that no one can accuse you of being attached to it's walking away. It's noblesse oblige, that's the French says. Anyway, never mind, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm talking about your attachments, not my attachments. My attachments are private.
Okay. All 10,000 of them.
Get the autograph book out.
And this is a nice thing about this kind of lifestyle. It says, let the gentle breeze, let the bright moon come as they may. Okay. Sống an nhiên tự tại nghĩa là sao? Nghĩa là cái câu nói đó là thanh phong minh nguyệt tùy thời hiện. Nghĩa là gió nó thổi hoặc là trăng nó tới thì kệ cho nó tới. You don't worry about it. You carefree. Mình sống một cách mà không có chấp trước gì hết. Lưu Trinh tinh ở tùng mà. Chính phân minh nguyệt随时现. That's freedom. 那就是自在。很自在.什么都好. Bất cứ gì cũng được hết. 对不对? Yeah. You see, whatever happens, it's okay. It's okay. That is Buddhist wisdom, by the way. It's not about, oh, I don't want you defiled, you haven't taken a shower yet, have you? Today. No, it's okay. You smell a little bit. Okay, it's okay. Whatever, it's okay. That is true freedom. Think about it. This is the Buddhist term for freedom is not freedom. It's 自在. It's self-mastery. It's at ease. It's not freedom. Unlike the Texans would call it freedom, we call it self-mastery. At ease. Self-mastery manifests itself as being at ease wherever you are, whatever happens. Okay? Thành cái Phật giáo mình, cái quan niệm Phật giáo mình không phải là tự do mà tự tại. See, freedom is that you do as you please. You see the difference in the freedom and self-mastery? Freedom is that you're free to do as you please. Self-mastery is that you're free no matter what happens. You see the difference? Can you understand the difference? Quý vị thấy sự khác biệt giữa tự do và tự tại không? Tự do muốn làm gì làm. Tự tại bất cứ cái chuyện xảy ra mình cũng không sao hết. Which one is freer? Cái nào nó tự do hơn? I say self-mastery. Don't you? Buddhism is much more profound than the Chinese realize. The Chinese now go after freedom. The Chinese walk up and say, oh, I want to be free from the government, and so on. Chinese government, from the Taiwanese government, right? Buddha says, Taiwanese government, Chinese government, I'm free of either of you. Okay? All right, any questions? All right. And he says here, by the way, for you to, those of you who are attaching, this is the last point in 476, slide 476. Any of you who are attached to marks of giving, you actually are cultivating heavenly rewards. Cái này nhắc lại cái gì? This is very important reminder for all of you. If you attach to any mark of giving, you are creating heavenly rewards only. Quý vị nhớ, anh nhắc lại cái vị nghe. Nếu quý vị còn chấp trước vào bất cứ cái hình thức nào của cái bố thí là quý vị đang chỉ tạo ra cái phước báu của cõi trời thôi. Yes, my young Swiss chocolate Shami has a question. Is that from Skype or from you?
From me.
From me, yes.
How would we do or engage in the plaque dharma without being attached to marks of wanting benefits? I mean, don't people basically request a plaque when they want, especially the medicine master plaque, they usually want some benefit.
Yeah.
So aren't you then making a donation with the hopes of getting some mark, something?
Yeah. So?
Is that is it then a lower form of giving that's you're creating blessings with outflows?
It's still higher than going and rob a bank. What do you want?
Well, let me say it this way. Can you use, say, the medicine master dharma, but not be attached to the mark of results?
It's okay, Master.
I don't know. I explained so many things to him, and he still doesn't get it. Okay, anyone help me out, please? Yes?
Don't worry about
Yeah, why not? He's worried about it.
Good for you, Jack.
It's not good
That's
enough.
very good.
He's a thinker. He has to be satisfied. You cannot teach people if they say, just don't worry about it.
He doesn't know how to do that.
it works for me.
Well, somebody was actually asking me this question, and I was trying to think of how to answer it. That's kind of how I did answer it to them.
There's so many ways to answer it. Must I teach you everything? Just wait 10 years, you understand why. Why do I have to explain everything to you 10 years ahead of time? I have to figure out these things for 10, 20 years before I do it. You know, you understand that? I have to think about all these issues for 10 years before I started doing it. So can't you trust the master? Your master saying, your master thought about it. It's okay. It's slightly better. Don't worry about it. Of course, I thought about it. I'm still doing it. Therefore, it must be okay. The patriarchs did it. We're not doing anything different from the patriarchs. You go to the Chinese temples of the patriarchs, they have this too. They have this. Okay? So there must be a reason behind it. There must be a very good reason behind it. Yes, sir. I have a very brave soul from Texas who's going to help us.
You just can't tear yourself to pieces over every little thing. You know, like you say, well, if I do this good deed, well, then will I be attached to the marks of the good deed? Well, you're just tearing yourself up for no reason. I mean, you're following a path that's supposed to lead somewhere, and you have to have this faith that it's going to go there.
Yeah. Okay. Let me try to explain to you a little bit. Okay. I thought about this 10 years. I cannot explain to you what all those 10 years, thinking all those 10 years. I'll give you a few. Okay? Number one is being practical. From practical perspective. People want something badly. You want chocolate. Can I talk you out of, no, you don't want chocolate right now? You have a craving for chocolate. How many people can say, Master is right, I should not eat chocolate? 95% of you would say, I want chocolate first. And maybe I'll listen to Master afterwards. It's like an addiction. Even more dangerous than addiction because you don't realize you're addicted to chocolate. The people put a label, you're addicted to meth, you're addicted to Coke. But people don't say you're addicted to chocolate, do they? And you know, chocolate is just could sometimes be as dangerous as Coke because you don't think of it as an addiction. For example, people who take the $5 5-hour drink to boost themselves, it's a form of addiction. You realize that? Mm-hmm. Food is a form of addiction. Mm-hmm. It kills you slowly if you eat too much of it.
Anything can be an addiction.
Okay, anything excessive is not good for you. The dangerous thing about in this country, food is so cheap, so affordable, so available, that is a form of addiction that people don't realize. You know, I go to Taiwan. One apple cost me $3. Here is less than about 50 cents when it's on sale. I know where to go. You don't know where it is. These Mexican shops, very cheap. $5 a piece. In Japan, in Europe, $5, $6, $7, one apple. Here, 50 cents. Why? And this guy still hates it. Hates the illegal workers. You understand that? It cannot be that cheap unless we have those illegal workers here, whether you like it or not. They're helping it make affordable for us. And yet we deny them the dignity and the recognition for that. We want to have it both ways. You're not willing to pay $5 an apple, and yet the people who help make it affordable to you. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying one perspective. It's not the complete thing, of course. Then there's a drain on a health system and all those things. Okay? All those. But anyway, the Texan is disagreeing.
Not buying it, not buying it.
Yeah, he's not buying.
Not at all. I don't accept any of it, okay?
Okay.
Go, and I don't care what else you say about it. All of them should go.
Okay, we stop then because I want to offend you.
All right. You already have.
Never mind. Okay, I'm not going to excuse myself, apologize either, but that's okay. But the point here is that when people want something, they're going to have it first before they listen to reason. Can you buy that?
Yes, of course.
When you're stuck on something, you have to be satisfied before you listen. So this is what we do. If you come to a Chinese temple and they say, my doctor says I'm dying, and I want to do something about it. I don't want to die yet. And they says, okay, there's a way to do it. So you actually are giving them something, okay, that to meet their needs, at the same time speak Dharma to them. That's when they listen. How else can you influence people unless you give them in a time of need? So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. Then you begin to teach them. Help them explain more than what they're looking for. Because you help them unravel. Going back a little bit further, why they want it this way. Why, and why, and why, until they understand more, they have a bigger picture. You understand that? They focus on this. And you help unravel the picture. That's why. Okay? If you don't have that, you think they come to the temple? They'd be, riding a horse, going shopping on Sunday afternoon. Drinking beer. The question is not them. The question is then, How about you? Are you ready for it? It's not about them. What we do here, what we do, these things here, people fail to realize is also for us. Are we ready for it? Are we arrogant? Are we dependent on that? Okay? Do we abuse it? We're practicing too. So they're practicing, they're learning, we also are learning at the same time. All right? So, I'll give you another aspect that people don't talk about. We're meddling. When we do the medicine Master Buddha plan, we're meddling. Big time. We have to decide between them and their enemies. You're becoming impartial, aren't we? Aren't we supposed to be helping? Remember the prior line? All living beings? Which one are we going to become impartial now? To all of them. To all of them. Has to be impartial to all of them. Impartial as well as partial. If you become impartial to all of them, then you are just partial to all of them. Same thing. See, he has to think about it. Okay? Who do you have to be unfair to? Of course, you ask Mr. Texan says, you have to be fair to me. Of course. I come here. I support you. I like you. Except for the illegal workers, I like you. I will listen to anything except for the illegal workers, at least for a few months. That's what happened to Mr. Texan. I disagree with him for a few months. I said, oh. But at first, you have to disagree with him. He said, I don't like you. Oh, I hate you. Why are you mean to me? And then a few months, I said, oh. That's the last 4 years so far. You know that? It happened to you every single time. It's okay. I understand. Now he's pissed off. Okay. You understand? Who are we impartial to? Who are we partial to? Every time you meddle, you get shot at. So are you going to be partial to them and impartial to you, or are you going to be partial to you and impartial to them? It's very complicated. You think that, I often give the analogy of the two sides shooting each other, you stand in between trying to make peace. Okay? You better be prepared to be shot at from both sides at the same time. What does it mean? The enemies shot at you because they're upset at you. The people you're helping will also shoot at you because the master is greedy for money. They don't say it in your face, but in the back of their mind, he's greedy for money. I assure you of that. Okay? Both sides. You better be prepared for that. If your skin is not thick enough, you shouldn't be doing this. That's why the Vietnamese temple don't have it. They don't have this thing here. They don't have this. Because if they do this, okay, if they're able to meddle, okay, then it has to show results. You cannot do this unless there's some results. Okay? So that brings to the point, are you able to deliver or not? If you're able to deliver, can you refrain from being greedy for it? Because you know you have limited. If they shoot you often enough, you're going to be hurt one of these days. If so, would you dare to continue to do this kind of work? Why is it it's hard for them? You think it's hard? It's easy for us? It's much harder for us. It's only the worst and the most powerful enemy that bring to the temple. You have to deal with them. Okay? So on one side, you have to worry about the consequences of meddling. Okay? On the other hand, you have the people you're helping, and they say, Master's greedy, they're greedy. How are you going to solve that? I don't know if it's true with any of you, but I think some of you did cross your mind. You went, why is it so expensive? Okay? So there's a teaching point here on this side where you teach them about giving. Why are you so stingy? Because when you help them, the benefits they get out of it is a lot more than the black themselves. I think most of them agree to that. And yet they still, why is it so expensive? Why is it so expensive? Right? Right? That's the way it is. They keep hesitating until one day they say, oh, it's okay. That's when they let go. That's when the benefits are even bigger. It's an incremental process. If they don't have a chance to face themselves, the pettiness, how are they going to overcome it? One day they say, oh, this is worth it because I feel it's a lot more than, and then you're free. Okay? If they're not free from it, they're not there yet, and then they keep on struggling every single time. They say, why? And that's part of giving. The same thing in bodhisattvas, you know that? They give and they wonder, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Why? Why am I doing this?
The bodhisattvas think like that.
You better believe it. It's their attachment that's manifesting. They doubt. They question themselves. Why am I doing this? You know, why don't I stick to the Vietnamese? The Chinese has a lot of trouble, especially the white people. You know, why do I have to go international? It's too much hassle. Okay, not only have to deal with one culture, you have to deal with multiple cultures. It's too complex. What for? It's an attachment.
You don't have to. Just deal with American culture.
Yeah, right? Deal with American culture. Mr. Texan says, move to Texas. Okay? Isn't that an attachment itself? Attaching to American culture? Aren't you dwelling on American culture?
So, what do I have? You're trying to cut it down, make it easier. Just do American culture.
Okay.
Probably have a blunt effect anyway.
So you see, I can go on. It's a process that, you know, I don't want to give you all the answers. You go through time because you yourself ask, why is it so? People complain to me about this. And I give you this. This is test of sincerity. Because what happened in this world is people are recognize value. The value that everyone agrees on is money. Right? It's clear. You can talk all you want until you are about to part with your money. That's when it really matters. You can talk all you want. It doesn't matter until then. Right? It's not until you actually give out, you know, the $5 or $1. And then inside you say, oh my God, this is too much. Like you leave a tip at the table. You ever have that experience? Every time you go to a restaurant and you see a bill and you say, should it be 5%? You go to a Vietnamese restaurant, $1 is fine. You know that? Okay. But you go to Denny's, the French restaurant, or McDonald's. Okay? Then you have to worry. Is it 10%? But then people say it's 15%. Nowadays they say 20%. Should I go 10 or 20? You always debate, right? You always say, is it 10 or going to be 15 or going to be 20 today? See how difficult it is for you just for a tip. That's your pettiness I'm talking about, right, Janice? See? You always evaluating. Is it was 20%? Is it 10%? Is it 15%? Who does that? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? You petty. You're so petty. Thank you very much. You know what I do? I go to the restaurant, I give 20%. I don't care. Unless the service is so bad, I don't. Now I have to think. Then I discriminate. You let go. You say 20%. Why? My excuse is that I'm making someone happy. Can you see? Can you look at it that way? Why it has to be you only? Is it worth my money? No, I give 20%. Don't always quote me, okay? Sometimes my math is not good. But it's not my fault. My point is that I give 20%, not because I'm a monk, not because I'm afraid that Curly, Go-Yin, is going to complain to me. She complains to me, Master spends too much money. That's what Go-Yin does. Every time she sees me, she says, ooh, he's spending money again. He's a monk and he's spending money. So don't tell her that I give 20% when I go to the restaurant. I give 20%, I don't think. I don't care if it's bad or good. I give 20%. Why? Because I want to make someone happy. That's how I look at it. Can we live in a way that as long as I have enough money to give 20%, I just give. I don't worry about tomorrow. I just give 20% because it makes one person happy today. Then you're free. You don't worry about it. Okay? And you're free from your petty self. Ugly God. Okay? You understand that? Pettiness is ugly. Don't you get it? Okay, now can we go back to the sutra instead of talking about tips?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, we're back on 476. Okay, remember when you attach the marks, you be careful when you know. That's why I said when I said 20%, it's like a norm. The people see it's reasonable, it's generous, and that you're free from just even you don't even think about it. Attached to the mark, being free from mark meaning, you just give, you don't think about it. That's what it means. It's not the 20%, it's not the 15%. You just do something and not think about it. And my purpose of doing that is to make someone happy. That's all. Doesn't matter. Okay? I should charge more when people come to the temple. I make up for it. Okay? And then I tell them, you have to make me happy. You see, you understand the cause and effect here? If I make the person who's stranger to me happy, gladly, then hopefully the people who know me should make me happier. I'm kidding. Oh God, you guys are so petty. Okay, 477. Any questions about that? That's what it's about. You live freely, not having to mind, to think about it, or to dwell on it. You understand that? Cái ví dụ thầy mới nói về cái cho tiền phục bo đó là chỉ là ví dụ cho quý vị thấy. Mình sống mà không có nghĩ tới mà không có trù cái đó. Okay. It's never self-centric. You shouldn't say it's only to my benefit. Can you benefit someone else for the heck of it? Just make someone else happy. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to make sense to you. Okay? Don't be so petty. You don't always have to benefit or be happy about it. Just make someone else happy. And then you're free. Don't be stupid either. Don't give away your fortune. Right? I'm not advocating stupidity. I'm advocating freedom at ease. Okay? I'm advocating that you should not be as petty as you are. I don't know how often I have to repeat this. Ru ching ting a tung ma. What's petty in Chinese? Stingy. Yeah, stingy. Stingy. 吝啬. 不要那么吝啬. Okay? All right. 477. I have 5 minutes. I don't ask them the question. I need to finish this. No marks. Buddha says, when bodhisattvas give, they give. Don't worry about marks. They are not attached to marks. They give to all living beings, meaning they are not attached to who they give to. They're not attached to what they give, how they give. They're not attached to who they give to. That's no marks. Is it clear? Phật nói là không tướng, tức là cho không có kẹp vào cái tướng cho, mà cho cái người chúng sanh là không kẹp vào cái tướng mà chúng sanh đang cho. Okay? So for example, we give, we don't say illegal alien, we don't give. It's okay. When we give, we give. Okay? Because then you're still discriminating living beings, like you discriminating homeless people only. You see that? You give, there's a chance to give, give. Okay? And if you keep on doing that, okay, then eventually you see that existence is emptiness, and emptiness is existence. That's why they practice giving. Khi cho cái bố thí này tới tột cùng, quý vị sẽ thấy được cái hữu là không, không là hữu. Can someone help me elaborate on this? Why is it eventually you understand existence is emptiness and emptiness is existence? This is why the Bodhisattva does it. Excuse me. Someone, anyone? Existence is emptiness. There's so many ways to explain it. Existence. Existence is what? Living. Okay? How about your possession? Is that existence? Yes. Your cars? Does they exist? Does they exist? To you, yeah. Yeah, big time. Ask Travis. He loves his CRV. Number one SUV, small SUV in the U.S. right now in sales. Oh, he sold it already, he says. Shucks. I'm always late. You understand that? Existence is your possessions. Possession is existence. What's emptiness?
No possessions. No possessions.
You give it away. You give it away. That's emptiness, okay? It does not count as your existence, your possession is not emptiness until you give it away.
You better sell.
Can you see that?
You better give your van away, Master.
Never! Hữu là cái tài sản quý vị. Không là gì? Không là khi nào quý vị cho hết cái tài sản thành không. Can you see that? This is how profound the teaching is. You have existence. Existence is emptiness because you are prepared to give it away. I'm not saying you must give it away. But if you have a chance to give away, you give away. Then it becomes emptiness. Then whatever you have is emptiness. Yes?
When I die, I'll give mine away.
Then, what is wrong with that statement? Có người nói, nếu như vậy thì chừng nào mà con chết con sẽ cho tất cả. What's wrong with that? It's not, existence is not emptiness until she dies.
Existence should be now, not later.
It only counts right now.
I thought I'd just throw that in. If you want to carve me around, I'll give it away now.
Thầy nói là, có người nói là con chuyện là con chết con cho tất cả. Thầy nói wrong, cái chỗ đó sai chỗ đó là tại vì hiện bây giờ nó vẫn còn, chưa phải là không. Chuyện là chết mới là không. Yeah? He says, Travis says, after at the time of death, you may change your mind and not give it away. It's what in Vietnamese we know it as promises. Người Việt Nam gọi là hứa. Okay? What about emptiness as existence? Emptiness is existence. How do you explain that? Cái không là hữu nghĩa là sao?
So the receiver of the gift exists.
My young Swiss Shami says the receiver, it exists. It's going to be a long project, long-term project. I explained this Rasa Sutra for past halfway now. And we explained about emptiness, and yet he still doesn't understand it. You see why my disappointment here? Anyway, never mind. I'm not attached to it.
Good.
Otherwise, I would have given up. Yes. How do you explain emptiness is existence?
Well, once you give away your car without any attachment, it becomes emptiness.
Not my van, I'm sorry. You can try. Nice try, Ginny, forget it. Yes. Anyone? Yeah, emptiness is why?
Well, I'm thinking that when you give and let go of your attachments, the space that those attachments take are released, and more emptiness comes into your life, which is a positive thing.
No. You start with emptiness. How does it become existence? You don't understand this statement. It says, existence is emptiness, meaning you have something, but actually it's empty. That's what it means. Okay? So I explain it for you in a way that you can understand it, even though you have it here, but you prepare to give it away. That's emptiness. You have it, but actually you're not attached to it. Okay? Now, the other side is, now you have nothing. It's thin air. And then it's existence. How do you explain that? Yes?
Because everything is given away. So whatever that out there is all shared together. So it becomes...
Close. Yes. Anyone else? Do you have any wisdom from Texas?
There's so many ways to describe it.
You see, he's going like this, you can expect big things from him.
The emptiness is so complex, you just wouldn't think it, but there's so many ways to look at it. Look at it, everything's empty because it's made from component things and it wouldn't be there to put all the things together. You say if you gave them away, then it's empty.
Okay, I'm making fun of Texas.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. It's true, yes. He's still talking to me, that's why I'm testing him. He's not really upset until he stops talking to me. See, he only says, I'm upset at you. The people real upset, right? They kill you first. Right, Janice? I'm not talking to you. You're evil. Right? That's true anger when you see this. Yeah? When I talk to you, I'm still safe. Yes. Yes. Second attempt. Third attempt.
It's all in your mind.
All in your mind.
It still exists.
Yes.
So you let it go, become emptiness, but it still exists. So it's.
But it's nothing there, first of all. How can from nothing you go to existence? That's what it means. Emptiness is existence, meaning even though there's nothing there, actually everything is there. That's what it means. It's very difficult to understand. That's why I see why you're all struggling. Nothing there right now. You see nothing. Empty space.
But everything is there.
Okay? And everything's there already.
There's empty space all around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see? Yes.
Well, if there's nothing there, you're not attached to anything, then you can also just pick up anything and make use of it.
Nice try. No cigars.
Keep on going.
Keep going, Nancy.
Don't quit.
Yeah. Thank you. At least someone appreciates me. So appreciates what I do, how difficult it is. You see, I don't see how you fail to observe, to understand how difficult it is to try to teach someone. after for all these years, and never mind. Here's what it means. No one can understand this. Không ai hiểu được đâu. Không là hữu nghĩa là sao? This is very profound. Originally, there's nothing. And because of your thinking, that everything appears inside nothing. You understand that? That's what it means. Originally, emptiness. Nothing there. All of a sudden, because of your false thinking, because of your thinking, okay, everything appears. Inside of nothing.
Inside the emptiness.
That's what it means in Buddhism. I don't expect you to understand this. It takes a long time from zero for things to begin to appear. Just the same as you, I give you an example. I give you this example. If you could give you an analogy to help you understand a little bit better. You can leave to Texas if your time is up. I'll give you an example. You are poor, okay? And one day you said, I will become a millionaire. I want to become a millionaire. You have zero right now, okay? You decide, I want a million. You remember? You have zero. No money. Okay? All of a sudden, this one thought, I want to become a millionaire. Guess what you do? You spend your life, 20 years your life, working until you become a millionaire. And in 20 years, the $1 million appears here. So from zero, in time, you get your millions. Can you see what I'm talking about? That emptiness is existent because you have nothing and yet you have this thought. And then you spend your lifetime pursuing it until you get it. That's existence. Can you see that? That's Buddhism. That's Mahayana. You only see right now. You don't fail to see that whatever this millionaire has started 20 years ago. He dreamt about it, and then he finally got it. That's existence. From nothing. Nothing here. 20 years ago, nothing. So, that's why you call emptiness existence, because you collapse them in 20 years into one spot, then zero and existence is the same. Isn't it? You see it different right now because you don't see 20 years. Does my example help?
Yeah.
Emptiness is nothing. Originally you have nothing, and yet you dreamt of it. So you build a fortune. You establish a country. Okay? That's existence. Because of your false thoughts. Is it clear? This is very profound. I'm explaining it to you in layman terms, but actually the Buddhist principle is just that. Out of nothing, one false thought, because one false thought, everything appears. Why? Because you don't stop at 1 million, do you? You go to 1 billion. You go to having a wife. You go to having a family. It doesn't stop at 1 million, does it? All your false thinking, once you get started, it multiplies. So now you have 20 years, you have your million. In 5 years, you have your first wife. 10 years, your second wife. Travis is having a good time. You understand that? And then 20 years, you got your million. And then you have your first heart attack. You understand? Everything happens. You see my picture? It's not just a 1 million. The one thought of $1 million actually has a family and heart attack, and then heartbreaks. You know, your wife, the first wife divorces you, and she takes half of your fortune, and so on. You know, it's terrifying. You ask a man. You understand? Everything happens because of one thought. The whole world evolves. Imagine you, all of us, false thinking like crazy. You not only do you have 1 million, you have 20 million millionaires. That's how complicated the existence is. Okay? So the point here, from entering into existence, is that beginning, I want to stress to you, is from this concept, very important. Buddhism, by the way, that few people understand. I want you to understand that, because most people, most Dharma masters stay away from this. They don't understand it, okay? Because if they talk about it, you ask questions, I don't know how to explain it to you. So they stay away from this. But the point here is that originally there's nothing. It's called emptiness. And because of one false thought that generates many more false thoughts. Because remember, do you stop at one false thought? Never. So the false thought about millionaire is accompanied by a thought of having a McDonald's quarter pounder for lunch in 20 years. And then, you see what I mean? So one thought after another, that's how you create the world. You go about creating your world, our world. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
That's even more interesting. And why? Why is that there's no traces of the human on this when it first appeared in the earth? Who cares? The bigger picture is how can we go from emptiness to all this mess? How can we extricate ourselves from this mess that we created from ourselves? Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. That's a big picture. Who gives a hoot about, why I don't have any proof? You can spend your lifetime pursuing the proof of those things, or you can spend your lifetime extricating yourself from this mess. What is your choice? Yes?
It's so fascinating because...
Is it fascinating? Oh, thank you. I thought it would be so boring, emptiness to existence.
Well, it's so fascinating because we spend all our lives, when we're little, growing up, having these goals and ambition and all these things we think we're supposed to achieve. And then we finally achieve something, who knows what.
And then you almost that, so they say, okay, I give it away. I promise myself I'll give it away when I die, right? That's wisdom.
But then we spend the rest of our lives undoing all those attachments and things we accumulated.
And then attach more. Right? You're not as attached to the things you were when you were younger, but you have more attachments now than before.
Right, right. And so it's just trying to undo all of those things that we accumulated as desires and accomplishments and everything we want.
Yeah, because you have no effective way of detaching. That's why you think you're detaching, actually you're getting more attachments. Is that right, Mr. Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Are we still friends? Yeah. Okay, come back next week. In a few months, you get over the illegal alien stuff.
Not likely.
Not likely. Not many more lifetime, he declares. At least he can laugh at it. We can disagree, but we should have a good time. That's my attitude. Don't make a face like this. God, life would be so horrible, wouldn't it? Huh? No matter what happened, you laugh.
Isn't that the truth?
Until you laugh at Master, that's when Master gets upset. Okay, thank you. Everyone, next week we talk about 478. Okay? Thank you for your patience. Okay. Let's do the transference and go shopping. Did somebody hide my handbell? Is this, you're trying to send me a message here? Now I'm thinking about this. Yeah, it's funny to you, yeah. Yeah, I have a good sense of humor. I bought a whole bunch of them, and you know, it's not even one here. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, may these merits and virtues adorn the Buddha's Pure Land, repaying the 4 kinds of kindness above, in the threefold paths below. May those who see and hear all bring forth a Bodhi mind. Then when this retribution body is done, be all born a land of utmost bliss. Namo Tát-chư Văn殊Chư Li Bồ Sát. Namo Tát-chư Văn殊